All right, recording started. What is on the agenda today? Do you want to just do status updates? And
Sure.
talk about anything that we're blocked on?
Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay, I can kick it off. I have been working on the design doc. I think it's pretty much close to merge. I had a meeting with Tim yesterday, and I've addressed the last of his feedback. You guys should take a look at the doc just to make sure you're up to date on what those changes are. Nothing major, but some minor changes you should be aware of. And I'm gonna see if I can get Tim to merge that or approve that today, and then we can get it merged. The second thing I've been working on is the volume attachment API. I moved it from V1 to V1 Alpha 1, which makes sense since this is going to be an alpha release. We shouldn't be adding to the V1 API. We should be adding to the V1 Alpha API.
Shouldn't it be V2 Alpha or something like that? Because
yeah, so I talked to
V1 is newer than V1 Alpha.
Yeah, so DB Smith said if you are making breaking changes to an existing object, that is when you add V2. And he said it was okay to add this as V1 Alpha 1 and then promote it to V1 Beta 1 and then V1 because we are not making any backwards compatibility breaking changes to the existing object inside any of those.
Okay. If API machinery agrees, then I'm not against.
Yeah, Lalo says so.
It should have all the objects, not just the new objects, I think.
I asked him about that, and he says don't put the new objects, don't port the new object back to V1 Alpha 1.
Okay.
So I'm just going to follow his
Okay.
guide. One problem with the API right now is it's having an issue, versioning issue. It's one of the basal tests is failing. I'm looking into that. I'm seeing if Lava Lamp Daniel Smith can help me debug it, and hoping to get that resolved soon. And then beyond that, I'm working on gRPC error codes. I sent out the updated PR to the CSI group, and I'm hoping that gets approved and merged quickly. I just spoke to G about it yesterday, and he seemed to be on board with it. And that's it.
Cool.
I got a question. I don't know, maybe it's not appropriate for status time, but it's related to API objects.
Okay.
All right. Are we going to have to import like the new volume types directly, or how's that going to work with like Cube client? You know, the Cube Go client. Does that stuff just come in there by default, or?
You mean in the external components?
Yeah, you know, because it was a dependency nightmare getting the projects, and I'm worried like as we add a new API type, the Kubernetes Go client's not going to have it. It's not going to have that new PV type.
So
a bigger nightmare trying to figure out how to get that damn thing vended in.
For the external provisioner, there should be no new types on the Kubernetes API, right?
The PV type, it needs to know the PV. Like the
the volume source. Yep. Yeah, so then we would need to wait for it to get merged on the in the entry side of things, have the new client Go updated, and then pick up the new dependency.
I think they release new client Go after Kubernetes release. So if after 1.9 is tagged, then they release the clients. And before that, we must do dirty tricks to
manually.
That's
going to be fun.
No, it's not that easy. I just copy the staging directory from Kubernetes and that's it.
Oh, okay.
But if you do dep update or would glide update, then it will break.
Okay, but that'll only be until the release happens, and then we can pick up the official version again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, somebody's going to have to help me figure that part out because that is way over my head. I mean, it was tough just getting the dep program to work properly, much less like trying to get some dependency that's not supported by it. My brain is not that big.
I think Jan's doing the exact same set of things, so he might be able to help you.
I asked him a question. He sent me like a really nasty email in response.
Yeah. Do your homework.
It's actually much nicer to people that ask him questions outside of Red Hat than inside of Red Hat.
I have very high expectation of Red Hat.
Okay, is there anything else you want to continue with status update?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm done. That was all from my end.
Okay, I'll jump into mine. I've got the external provisioner refactored into the Kubernetes-CSI. I put it into a repository called Flex-Provisioner because I thought external-provisioner is a little too generic if we're only doing Flex provisioning for now. And I think the way that we're going to end up scaling that external storage repo anyways is to have each provisioner in its own repositories, just based on how big of a nightmare the dependencies are.
Wait. Why is the provisioner specific to Flex?
That's what I thought we were doing. I thought...
So my understanding is that there's going to be two external components. One is going to be the external attacher.
Oh, you're right. You're completely right. It's not dependent on Flex. It's just, my brain farted on that. It's going to work.
Sorry?
So I need to rename that repository anyway. So I just need to call it like Kubernetes Provisioner or
or CSI Provisioner or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So basically what this provisioner is going to do is it's going to monitor the PVC objects, and then it's going to reach out over gRPC.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And I've got everything there except the gRPC endpoint call.
Okay.
And I don't know, the project sits, you can build it, and if you hook it up to Kube and create the storage class and the PVC objects, you'll get the log message that the provision and delete methods are called. I just have to wire it into like the gRPC CSI calls, and that I can do it now. I can do it later or even more later. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But that's probably where I leave it for a little bit.
Cool. Sounds good.
And I will rename that repository to like CSI. Keep CSI. I don't know. I'll have to think about something.
I'd say just match the external attacher, because the repository itself is Kubernetes-CSI. So it's like, okay, we know what this is. The CSI components, and so inside it, if we just have external provisioner, I'd be okay with that.
Or just provisioner. External provisioner is so long. Okay.
Yeah, just keep it consistent with attacher. If you do a rename, just do the same thing for attacher too.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I can tell my status. I noticed I have wrong error handling, and basically I would like to have Saad's patch to use gRPC codes merge as soon as possible.
Yep, that's the goal.
The thing I do wrong is that if detach returns an error, then I expect that the detach failed and the volume is still attached, but the error can be like node doesn't exist or volume doesn't exist, and the volume is in fact detached. So the volume never detaches, and volume attachment object is never deleted. So it's kind of stupid.
And did you look at my gRPC doc? Are you okay with the way that I've spec'd out? I'm not going to use details. I have standard gRPC error codes.
As long as I can find out if the operation has completed or haven't even started, and the volume is either attached or detached, then it's fine.
Okay, I think then it should be sufficient.
Yeah.
Could you say that again, Saad, about the error codes?
So for the error codes, the gRPC error code proposal that I have, the PR that's out, gRPC allows you to, it has three parts in the status. One is the error code, the second is the human readable message, and the third is an optional details field. And normally the way that the details field is used is it's kind of like a sub error code kind of thing.
Sure.
Where you define your own protobuf to put in there. For now, in the current proposal I have, I'm not defining any extra information for the details.
Awesome.
So it would just be the generic gRPC error code that's being used.
Cool. Thank you. Because that's all I'm using.
Okay, cool. That means very simple transition.
Yeah. All right. I have a demo, so I'll go last.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. Well, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So basically, between yesterday and today, I've been busy setting up my testing harness for the code I'm writing. I didn't want to go too far into it and then trying to backtrack and retrofit test code. So I've been making sure all my tests passing using my fake clients and excuse me, and the internal mechanism for Kubernetes. So I'm at the tail end of that. I should be wrapping that up, and then continuing with the attacher and the rest of the code.
Cool. So we have, I think for the entry stuff, if we can get everything wrapped up by the end of next week, we'll be in good shape. If we're not ready by the end of next week, then we might be in trouble, but we can reassess as we go through the week next week.
Yeah, that's my my target is to get all that stuff wrapped up in some kind of shape where at the very least it proves that the stuff can work. So as soon as I don't have any hard dependency on the stuff, on the changes for the error code, because I was assuming that I was refusing to parse that error.
Nice.
So I was waiting for it anyway. So I didn't have any code to parse that error stack. So I should be good there. I'll circle around with Andrew to make sure that his code is updated, so I can have something local I can test against
Sweet.
soon. And that's it.
All right. Sounds good. We're coming up 1.5 weeks. Let's make it happen. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh, Luis, you had your update and your demo.
Yeah. So a couple of things I've been working, as you probably know, I've been working on the Portworx driver for about almost 2 weeks now. And every time I work on it, I probably find something on the API that is just a little bit strange. But for now, I've been doing pretty well. The cool thing I just wanted to let you guys know that this is our real CSI implementation. This is not like a demo or anything. And this real implementation is open source. So our entire control plane is open source. So when what I'm going to show you now is it's not like an example, but this is our real code. Okay. So the plan is that I'll probably finish with, I just finished create volume today, just this morning, and I'll probably work on delete volume, and then I'll have mount and unmount after we do the E2E test. So I'll finish a snapshot now with create and delete volume, and then I'll go into the E2E YAML files that we need for next week. So that's my goal.
Cool.
So what I'm going to show you today is what we call the OSD, which is it's an interface abstraction to storage management. And what we do is that we plug in our Portworx into that. But the front end is a RESTful interface, or in our case, gRPC. We also have other backends to use for testing of just our control plane. We have NFS, ButterFS, and a bunch of stuff AWS that we plug in to test our control plane. So what I'm going to show you today is what we call OSD, which is a lib open storage daemon, and running with an NFS backend, but listening on gRPC. And then I'm going to use the EMC client, the CSC, to create a volume, list it, and I can't delete it, but and get information from it. So here we go. All right. First, I always have to share my screen. Nope. I cannot share the screen because Wayland is not supported yet. Ah, Fedora! Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Do you mind if I restart my device? I'll join right back in. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Ian, you seem very happy today. What's up?
Nothing. I'm talking to Brad on our chat.
Giving him a hard time.
We're planning our cube.
No. Planning KubeCon in Austin.
Oh, nice.
He's planning big parties and these kind of things. I'm not sure I want to go there.
Yeah, I was curious to see how much Tomasz or Jan can drink. There's always speculation that one or two beers and like they always quit. So everybody's curious to see what would happen if we got 5 or 6 or something more substantial.
As a reminder, this is being recorded and will be posted on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oops. Nobody watches this anyways.
All right. Let's see if this works. Now I'm using x.org. All right. Let me make sure I had my terminal all set up. Luckily, I'm running screen, so it should still be set up. Oh, it's dead. It's like the whatever the gods are just making sure I don't do this demo. All right, just 1 more minute, guys. Sorry about this. I can.
Have you guys ever seen Kelsey's demos where things go wrong? Man's a genius.
Yeah, he does.
All right, let me share my screen now. All right, you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's source go. Okay. So let's see main. Yes, right. Oh. CSI server enable quick. Something's already because it's already running. Oh man. See what I mean? Let me get it. Let me kill that guy. All right. You know what? I'll do it for Monday.
Sound like a plan, man.
Yeah. It's like I say 3 things don't work, I give up.
All right, thanks. We'll keep an eye out for that on Monday then.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, guys, we'll call it a day.
Okay.
All right. Talk on Monday.
All right. Take care.
All right, man. Bye.